You're live.
Hello, thank you for joining us here in Sarasota, Florida at the dark side. I am Paul, this is Eric. We've got a handful of new releases for you this week, as well as a bunch of back issues. If this is your first time joining us, there's a link below, fill that out. We have $9.99 flat rate shipping if you're an out-of-towner. If you're local, you can just pick them up in the store, or we can still ship them to you. So, let's get started.
Indeed.
Let's get it started. All right. First thing we got up today is the 30th anniversary of Deadpool.
Yeah.
The Nerdy 30 issue.
Yeah. This was a really fun one-shot. So this was an anthology series with stories by a lot of iconic creators, folks like Rob Liefeld, Fabian Nicieza, Joe Kelly, Gail Simone, Daniel Way, and a few other people I'm probably missing. Kelly Thompson.
Yes.
This was so fun. I'm not always the hugest Deadpool person, but I felt that this was a good celebration of the best of what Deadpool is.
There was a good cross-section of different Deadpool tones.
I agree.
My favorite was the one with Wolverine at a prom.
Yes, that one was really good.
That, to me, captures the best humor tone of Deadpool.
There was also a nice cross-section of like ages of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a chronological progression of stories. Like the first one is, well, I won't spoil it, but the first one is not something I expected.
It's a baby Deadpool.
Okay, it was good though.
Yeah, no, it was fun. If you need your Deadpool, there you go. I'm not sure. Is the series still going? Does he still have an ongoing?
His ongoing just ended with the King in Black tie-in.
Okay. So, who knows when we'll get more Deadpool?
I'm sure it'll be in like 3 months, if that long.
Up next is another anthology. It is Batman Urban Legends. This is going to be an ongoing series featuring the first story was a Batman and Red Hood story by Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Which is the first Zdarsky DC story I've read. I think Eric said that he's done other anthologies, but I've never seen it.
I think he did one of the death metal ones.
Okay.
If Brian wants to verify that.
I will double check. There's a Harley Quinn Poison Ivy story by Stephanie Phillips that was quite good. That's the first of, I think, 6 issues there. And then there was an Outsiders story, which I didn't read because the Outsiders kind of bore me. But the 2 stories I did read were good. And I'm not a big Red Hood fan. I don't care for Red Hood. I like that they brought him back and the way they brought him back, but I don't.
He should have stayed dead. I voted for that, damn it.
See, voting to democracy does nothing. It means
start
nothing.
keeping a tally.
We need like a how many times has Brian?
They should just bring the vote back. Next up, Spectre Inspectors number 2.
Yeah.
Number 1 was a favorite of ours.
Yes.
This is continuing. It's really good.
It's really fun. Like, and really, there's some really like cute and sweet moments in this
There
too.
really is.
Like, yeah. I would say the tone of this is fun and tender. Those are the 2 words I would use to describe.
And spooky. Don't forget spooky.
Yeah, and spooky. It's got a lot of good ghost stuff.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, I've been really surprised by all ages stuff I've been reading.
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully, I think it's been higher quality than a lot of the more adult focused stuff I've been reading.
Yeah. I won't disagree with you.
Boombox has been killing it lately.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's if the first 2 issues are any indication, this is a very like episodic story. Like each issue is fairly standalone in its own location, and then they move on to the next location, and it's really
there's definitely a running thread that's going to be going on.
Yeah.
But each issue sort of has its own tale within that running thread.
Yeah. If you enjoy that, if it sounds good to you, pick it up. It's also great for like middle schoolers. That's probably the age range for this.
It is also a 5-issue miniseries, so it's not too much of a commitment.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah, this was great.
Next up, my favorite book of the week.
Of course it was.
You haven't even read it.
I know all about it.
Carmen number 1. It's a interesting, weird, different take on like a Grim Reaper type character. It's not scary. It's not a horror book, although it is dark and it's heavy and it's very thematic. It's got a lot of philosophy in there. It's very philosophical, but it's also goofy and silly. The Carmen Grim Reaper character is very silly, but it's so good. The artwork is solid. I really like it.
Good to hear.
It is. There's some heavy stuff in it. So if you don't like dark stuff, it's maybe not for you.
Now, do you remember who the creative team on this one was?
It's written and drawn by a fellow named Guillermo March.
Guillermo, okay, yeah.
I don't know how to
I've
say his
heard
name.
the name, but I don't
Yeah,
actually know.
Guillermo March. I don't know how to say it. It's like Guillermo, but without the mo.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but I can't remember where.
Like the artwork is just it ranges from fun to stunning.
Mhm.
Next up, I believe that it's glary, but I believe that is Black Hammer Visions issue number 2
It
Yes.
is,
with the awesome Hatchet cover.
Yeah.
which we can't see.
There we go.
All right, Eric, bring it up to the camera.
Now, Eric, being somebody who you read like the first volume of Black Hammer,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this?
I think that this is, truthfully, I feel like it could be a good jumping on point for someone. Having only the knowledge of the first 6 issues, this story is perfectly accessible, and I honestly haven't even felt that I needed those 6 issues.
Yeah, this being an anthology, again, a lot of anthologies this time of year.
Yeah.
This second issue focuses on Lady Dragonfly, who is kind of like, she's kind of like a horror host of the old, your crypt keeper, if you will. So she introduces the story, and then she shows up at the end. Yeah,
And
it's been a long day.
this was an exciting book for me because it's a creative team of a book that's near and dear to me. This was Jeff Johns and Scott Collins, who are the writer and penciler, respectively. And that was the creative team of the run of Flash that caused me to fall in love with the character. So it was an exciting one.
They nail the tone of the House of Mystery horror books.
This really felt like I was reading an old like Bernie Wrightson House of Mystery story.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I mean, even if you're just a fan of like that kind of storytelling, you can pick up this issue and be completely happy with it.
I
You can
agree.
never read any other Black Hammer, but you should.
Anthony has joined us.
Hey,
Hello, Anthony. Next up is New Wonder Woman.
yeah.
Now that Future State is over, DC is back to their ongoing titles.
So it's unclear exactly how long after Infinite Frontier Zero this is, but this is a really cool setup. Wonder Woman finds herself in Asgard, and she gets involved with some of the sort of the Enharrier, which are the heroes of Valhalla. I don't know if they use that term here. I don't remember, but that is the term for them. And she doesn't have full memory of who she is, so that's interesting. Some of the Norse mythology references in this story made me smile because I love me some Norse mythology and some Thor.
This is traditional Wonder Woman, not the new Wonder Woman.
Correct. This is Diana of Themyscira, and I believe this is playing off what happened at the end of Infinite Frontier and the new status quo for the character. It is worth noting that this is neither her mother nor Yara Flor nor Nubia, who are sort of the other Wonder characters walking around right now.
Good to know. So I know they're still mixing stuff up.
So I believe, I'm trying to remember, I forget if Nubia and, no, they didn't show up in this one. I was thinking of Infinite Frontier where they showed up.
Brian, you're going to say something?
I was going to let everybody know that if they missed out on some of the Future State, we have a lot of it, and we put it on sale for 25% off. There's a display in the shop of a lot of the Future State stuff. So
25% off each issue, not counting the one single issue that is not out yet.
Which one is that?
The Imperial Selects issue 3.
Gotcha.
It'll be about March 30th. You got time to catch up, pick up the first 2 issues of that story for 25% off, and then read the third one.
That's right.
All right. Next up, Last Witch issue number 3.
Yeah. This continues to be like an excellent, fun book. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this particular issue that doesn't give away stuff from the previous 2 issues. But I do think the quality of the book has continued. The reliance on sort of Irish folklore continues to be really cool. And yeah, I love the magic system of this story, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, I decided not to read it, and I'm going to wait until the trade is out, and I'm going to finish reading it, because I love the first 2 issues, but I'm trying to focus more on like the first and second issues of stories instead of, for the show.
God,
Once the trade is out, I'm going to devour it.
I hope this gets a hardcover, because I want a nice, pretty hardcover.
Again, it's like Irish Miyazaki.
Yeah.
You were bullying me about it last night.
Yes, I'm still bullying you about it. You should read it because you'll love it. Whereas
Rose needs
me,
to read Thor.
she needs to read everything.
She needs to read Last
There's a
Witch.
list.
So this is a Boombox title, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
It's all ages.
I think it's like a YA kind of target, or do you think it's?
I think this one's a little more like
It can go younger.
yeah, it can, but I do think YA is like maybe not YA like.
I don't.
Yeah, no, you're
I don't really
right.
know the age
It's like these are both I think aimed at middle school audiences, but I think anyone can love them.
I think Last Witch can go a little younger, where Spectre and Spectres I would keep it middle school.
Fair.
Simply because there are some more adult tones in there. Some more adult themes. All right. Next up, Joker number 1. Rose is distracting me.
I was doing jazz hands.
This first issue is less of a Joker story and more of Commissioner Gordon, ex-Commissioner Gordon story. It's picks up after Infinite Frontiers when Arkham Asylum has been gassed by Joker toxin, and a ton of Arkham prisoners are dead, including a lot of favorites. And everyone's blaming the Joker, but he may not have done it. So,
But who cares? I mean, they're all like psychotic killers, right? So,
I don't know.
So you're saying in this version, the Joker is actually Jim Gordon?
No? Did I say that?
no, you did not
I
say
didn't
that.
say that. Stop confusing my tired brain.
Do we have the J. Scott Campbell cover?
For Joker?
Mm-hmm.
No, because that was store exclusives that you had to buy like 250 copies.
Gotcha.
Brian?
Hmm.
So no.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's really good. It looks like it's going to be a good kind of detective story.
Does this like play at all into like the magistrate stuff that's been going on in Gotham?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Some rich cabal of people are hiring Jim Gordon, possibly. We don't know if he's taken the case yet, to kind of track down the Joker and bring him to justice.
So this is Jim Gordon PI?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they're not trying to capture him. They want Gordon to kill him.
Oh, fun.
So this is after like the drunken gravestone crying?
Yes.
Good.
Probably by several years.
I mean, he probably does that regularly.
Yeah.
No, I
He
do.
seems like a man of routine.
I feel like he does it every year on James Gordon Jr.'s birthday because
Did we may have his first appearance.
Hmm.
oh, that's cool.
All right, let's move on. Proctor Valley Road, number 1, Grant Morrison.
Yeah. This did not read like a Grant Morrison comic, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, like it's not as like dense. It's not as like full of stuff.
It's not their usual style, but I still really loved it.
Yeah.
It was fun, it was interesting, and there are some good meaty plot hooks for the next issue.
Premise is it's 1970. Some teen girls want to get some money to go see Janis Joplin, and they follow this local folktale about the road being haunted, and they do a ghost tour for these dudes. The dudes are, I mean, they're kind of the worst kind of dudes.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of the worst kind of dudes.
Garbage teenagers.
Yeah, they're just 1970s teenagers. But it was really good. It ends pretty brutally.
Yeah. I would say
I wasn't sure if you were gonna like this, between like a lot of the language and then like that violence towards the end.
oh, there's definitely like stuff about this that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I do think it's a good book overall. And I think some of the more harmful elements are not just out there, they're actually like
Contextual.
yeah.
So it's good. Hopefully it continues to be good. We will see where the monsters take us.
Agreed.
Next up is Tart. It is a one-shot from Scout. I'd never read anything like, there's one Tart trade paperback, and she's like a time-traveling magician detective sort of thing from I don't want to use the word cabal. What's another word?
Cadre.
Junta.
A group of it's kind of like time spies. That's a word that fight monsters,
Oh, that's fun.
and they all have citrus names.
Weird.
Like, so, you know. But it was fun. It had like, there's varying art styles, several different stories going on at the same time, and I really, really was kind of blown away by it. I'm
That's
gonna
good.
go back and read that first story because it was pretty cool. I
That's
liked
good
it
to
a lot.
hear. What kind of like age range or
Oh, it's mature.
okay.
It's not super mature. There's just bad words, and
Understood.
violence, some dead vampires.
What you can do?
But it was really cool. Again, like there's like 3 or 4 different art styles in the book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
With different artists or the same artist?
I honestly did not check,
Okay.
but it's cool because like the different art styles follow different characters, so each character kind of has their own style.
Oh, that's neat. I love that.
I liked it. Next up, how about some X-Men?
Yeah, so this is Children of the Atom #1, a new X series from Vita Ayala, following some new characters that I believe they created these characters, and this was a great first issue. So the premise is sort of teenagers dressed in costumes reminiscent of some of the original X-Men show up in New York City, and the mutants on Krakoa are like, hey, why are these kids not on Krakoa? And there is a sort of a mystery about who these kids are and why are they not on Krakoa? And the adults sort of try to decide, hey, do we like talk to these kids and try to get them to come? What do we do? Some interesting stuff.
They actually have that conversation because it seems like if there's mutants, they just take them.
No,
They're
so
just like,
actually, they mostly give them a choice, and that was the conversation they have here. Like, they're like, we cannot kidnap these children. That is not a good look for the X-Men. But there is like, do we just leave them be? Do we talk to them and try to invite them to Krakoa? And there's some interesting dynamics. I think Vita really has like all of the older X-Men's voices down. And I'm excited to see these new characters develop. I think there's a really fun dynamic going on. You have characters with names such as like Cyclops Lass. You have
Cherub.
Cherub. You have Marvel Boy, Daycrawler, and Gimmick is the other one, which is the Gambit.
Pastiche.
Yeah,
That's funny.
they're great. This team is fun. I trust Vita with just about any book that they are given, so I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Plus, there's a great splash page of 3 D-list, C-list X-Men, and hopefully they're featured.
I would say 2 C-list X-Men and a D-list.
And then an F.
yeah.
Then an F.
Poor Maggot. Also,
Spoiler!
I mean, also, the name of the high school in this issue made me just very happy because it's a reference to something from the early Claremont run, and it made me so happy.
So is this kind of like Strange Academy, but for X?
If they
unclear.
didn't go to school, if they didn't go to the academy, then yeah.
Yeah, this is like what happens when the kids don't come to the school, because you get some school shenanigans, but it's not mutant school shenanigans; it's regular school shenanigans. Really good issue.
I'm playing a game of masks right now, and it's you play high schoolers with powers, but you're not allowed to use the powers. And we're like, oh, what do you do? It's very reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
We crippled the football player, the star football player. We didn't mean to.
Oh no.
That's
It's okay. We had a John Hughesian detention day. It was fun. Anyway.
it's a strange game.
Yeah.
Next up, if you like your Robin Hood, this is not it. Nottingham was really good.
Do you not like Robin Hood?
I am so burnt out on Robin Hood. Like, oh my god. It's too many Robin Hoods. Like, give me like the Men in Tights, that's all I need. Maybe Errol Flynn if I'm feeling nostalgic.
What about the Disney version?
With the Fox?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up on Disney.
Mm.
But yeah, this is really good. It's definitely mature. It's like almost a realistic take. More so than the Ridley Scott movie, because that was terrible. But yeah, it's really good. I don't want to give out spoilers, but it's kind of the hero of it is the sheriff so far. Not that he's a good guy.
Is he like a point of view character, or
He's the point of view character.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And Robin is not so much a good guy.
interesting?
Yeah, so I'm actually excited for it because Mad Cave is one of those publishers that every once in a while they put out something really awesome, and I think this is going to be the current awesome.
How violent and/or bloody is this?
Pretty to fairly.
The cover is covered in blood.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can't judge a comic by its cover always.
I guess that's true.
Those teeth.
Yeah.
That big smile.
Yeah, Robin wears a mask. And it's pretty. It's similar to that. That's not exactly it, but it's
So little.
it's pretty. Yeah, with big teeth, grotesque smiling face.
Are they
So-
wearing tights in the comic? Like, is it
No,
Oh.
no tights, Anthony?
no,
Sorry.
Not that I could tell, anyway. Let's move on to Superman.
Yeah, this was a good start. So this is the first issue of Philip Kennedy Johnson's run on a character, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. So this story looks like it's going to be a little more about John Kent than Clark Kent. So Clark is in the story; he is still Superman, but it's sort of what happens when the child who went away comes back and sort of has to come on his own, and the dad doesn't really get as much say in it as he'd like. Seems to be where this story is going. Also, it has Amanda Waller in it, and I will never complain about Amanda Waller being in the story because she is delightfully evil. Or maybe not even evil, like delightfully antagonistic is, I guess, maybe a better way to put
Remember
it.
that Valentine's Day issue?
Yeah, that was such a good story.
Last new issue.
Lastly, Maniac of New York #2. It's so good. I love it. Next time Andre Moody's in the store, I'm getting signatures because this series is awesome. Like,
I should tag it. I wonder if I can tag it.
Well,
like I've said before, it's basically Jason Takes Manhattan, but taken seriously, where there's actual like police officers trying to figure out like the whole spiel.
are they competent?
It's hard to say thus far.
Are they competent? Eh?
But they're looked down like they're the underdogs because there's only 2 of them, and they have no funding, and the mayor doesn't believe in them. But it's just so good.
Probably mine hunters.
No,
All right.
no.
Not at
But
all.
it's, I mean, flat out, if you like Jason Voorhees, this is awesome.
I think the next issue that comes out, we'll see if we can get Andre to chat with us. That'd be fun. Huh?
It would be fun.
I mean, we talked about we want to start doing segments.
Yeah, I still have to get sign my Empire of the Dead hardcover.
Can you talk a little bit more about Spectre Inspectors, please? Refresh.
Sure. It's about age ranges from mid-teen to early 20s group of youths that are doing a ghost hunting podcast sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a web show.
Yeah, like they're ghost hunters. And then at the end of the first issue, one of them gets possessed by a demon, and they're trying to figure out how to save that person.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm really enjoying it.
It's really good.
And like I said, it has it's very sweet in parts, and I like.
Yeah, it's very there are very tender moments with the inner the relationships between the characters.
And that's it's a very character-driven book, I would say, more than a plot-driven book, and it is very good.
Anthony was curious what the blurb would be for Spectre Inspectors. Like, can you give him a quick description of that?
I think that's what we just did.
We just did.
Do that?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Glad
I was busy chatting with Andre.
Great show.
Just for the last minute.
Repeat that, please. Everything you just said.
Let's move on to some back issues. How about
Okie
that?
dokie.
Paulium, where are you going?
Let's visit Gotham.
We shall.
Bruce. All right. First thing we got up here today is the classic Batman Year One, all 4 issues by Frank Miller, written by Frank Miller, art by Dave Mazzucchelli. Never say his name right.
I think it would be Mazzucchelli.
Yeah. So we've got some varying prices on them individually. Issue 404, which is part 1, graded about an 8 for $25, which also features the first modern appearance of Catwoman. There's the second issue, an 8.5, first appearance of Carmine Falcone.
I always forget that it was Miller who created him.
Yeah, who's already been in the movies, but he's going to be in the next movie played by John Turturro.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, all right.
Issue number 3 for $17. Issue number 4 for $15. And if you're interested to get the whole thing, we got that at $70. One of the best Batman stories of all time. And we also have issues 408, 409, and 410 following up those previous 4 issues. And with this, you get retellings of Jason Todd's origin story. See him stealing hubcaps there, and Batman's all brrr. That's $20 on its own. And this is Jason Todd's story continued. That one's $20. And then you get the conclusion to that little 3-issue story with the origin of Two-Face. That's $15.
So is this the first time we've had an origin of Two-Face?
No,
or-
it's the updated origin
Okay.
of Two-Face. It's the modern age Two-Face.
Still very cool.
All 3 of those for $50.
And that you said it is the first appearance of Jason Todd, or is that just a
No,
retailer?
it's his new origin. It's his updated origin from 10 issues earlier.
Oh,
And then travel down a couple weeks later in publishing, and we've got issues 417 through 420, which is the 10 Nights of the Beast by Jim Starlin.
Love Jim Starlin.
Which the first issue of that is the first appearance of KG Beast.
I love that character.
This issue number 417 here is in great condition, other than there is a minor tear right at the top there. That's why I have it graded at an 8. But on its own, $12. There's the second issue in the story. That's a 9 for $12. And then you get to see the fetishistic outfit of KG Beast.
God, the first time I saw that outfit of KG Beast was in the Justice League
Batman is
Unlimited
really
cartoon.
upset.
Yeah.
Well, he probably just like that repelled up there, and so he's like speeding at this guy's leather-clad crotch at like 30 miles an hour.
And Batman's all like, I will dress like a bat and instill fear into my. Ah!
True.
It's worse than the Man-Bat scare.
Doing all 4 issues of that for $42, unless you would like them individually. Next one, probably the most exciting found I've had this week, is the first full appearance of the Living Tribunal in Strange Tales number 158. Got that graded at about a 7. It's in really good shape. I was disappointed that this one does not have a Stranko cover because it's a Strange cover and not a Fury cover. But
Yeah, that's always sad when it's not Steranko doing covers. On any book, really.
yes.
Can't
However,
do all the covers.
we do have a Stranko cover
I mean,
on
he could.
the follow-up issue 159 of Strange Tales. This is Nick Fury origin retold, as well as the first appearance of Contessa Valentina Aragona.
Oh, that's on his girlfriend.
Yeah, his love interest.
Look at that karate chop, though.
Yes. Look at the size of it. His hand is like larger than his head.
That's perspective, Paul.
It's not.
Valentina actually led to Jim Steranko's first couple of brushes with the Comics Code Authority.
You got him in the holster?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, another Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Number 9, everyone's favorite villain. Rose, do you know who that is?
Hobgoblin, obviously.
It does have an H on it.
Yes.
Purple and green, Hobgoblin. Done. Little masky.
Everybody was purple and
Worse.
green at that time.
It is the Hate Monger.
Yes.
Anybody know who the Hate Monger is?
I do.
Don't.
Eric?
I don't remember.
It's Hitler.
Hate Monger is revealed to be Hitler.
Yay! Well,
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Comics.
I think it was actually a clone of Hitler. I don't think it was.
I don't
actually
remember.
Mecha Hitler.
Hitler from Wolfenstein.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Paul, you and I. share a brain.
Too many Hitlers.
Any one is probably too many.
I agree with you there.
All right. Action Comics. Number 544, 45th Fabulous Year. This retells the origins of Lex Luthor and Brainiac.
I always thought that Lex Luthor armor was ridiculous.
Yeah, I've always hated
But
that.
it's also Hobgoblin.
Listen, I love the Lex Luthor armor. I grew up on it in the Justice League cartoon, and it's great.
And this is a really odd Superman face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Isaac is here.
Hi, Joe.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Joe Isaac.
All right. Showcase presents number 79. The first appearance of Dolphin.
Ooh.
Who?
She's like, wasn't she like Aquagirl before Aquagirl?
Yes. I could have swore that she was retconned to be one of the Atlantean characters, but she's not. I could have swore. Like, I researched this today. I could have swore she turned out to be like Mira or Mira's sister or something.
Yeah, she's Mira's sister from like the other underwater kingdom.
Right.
Revealed in Brightest Day of all comics.
This also features Aqualad's origin story.
That's cool.
Now, the issue itself is in great condition, but whoever was storing it previously let it get a little wobbly, a little wavy. So once there's weight on that, once it gets pressed, it's going to be gorgeous. $50 for that, and it is a really good cover. It's good classic art.
Her name is Dolphin.
Let's keep it 18. Under the Sea, we've got Aquaman number 31. Nothing special about this, just Aquaman fighting the tank.
Nothing special. That's awesome. Like Aquaman versus the Tank.
He shook his head so fast his sunglasses fell off.
Was he wearing his sunglasses at night?
I don't know what I don't know. It's Purple Night. Is that
I
night sky?
would imagine so.
That's graded at about a 7 for $30. Like I don't know if you can see it, but there's dudes inside the windows on the tank.
Oh, awesome.
Moving on, Avengers number 162. This is the first appearance of Jocasta.
Isn't she like the android that Ultron created?
Yes,
Okay.
she's his Bride of Frankenstein.
Right.
That's a good analogy for that.
I mean, that's
pretty much what it is.
that's exactly what it
I think that's on purpose
is.
too.
Hank Pym, make me a wife. That's graded at a 7 for 18.
Wait,
Maybe
does
it's
that
a-
actually say that on the cover?
No,
No.
Oh,
That was me ad-libbing.
that could have been on the cover.
I'd believe it. Though it would probably be more dramatic. It would be like, Hank Pym, forge me a bride, or I will, I don't know, unleash a.
Destroy everybody.
Yeah,
It's still better than what they did with Jocasta in the Ultimates.
I don't want to know.
Avengers 167, graded at an 8 for $16. This is the first crossover of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now this is the original Guardians team, not
It is, yes.
the team most people are familiar with,
Yes.
but still a great team.
The pre-2000s Guardians of the Galaxy
Indeed.
with old Crystal Guy.
Yeah, he was like a lot of the original Guardians. They were humans that were genetically altered to be able to survive on different
That's right.
atmospheres on the
I
planets.
knew that.
So I think that the big strong guy was maybe on for Jupiter, and the crystal guy was for another one. So
All right. Avengers number 195. This is the first cameo appearance of Taskmaster.
nice.
That's graded at about a 7. Other than some discoloration along the edge on the front and back, it's in a really good shape. Yeah, it's like the last page of the story is just Taskmaster being Taskmaster.
I remember when people didn't believe me that the character in like that footage or the images that leaked of Black Widow was Taskmaster. They were like, "Oh, it's the wrong helmet or it's the wrong whatever," and I'm like, "No, that's Taskmaster. I promise you." And then it turned out it's Taskmaster.
I'm excited to see who Taskmaster is in the movie.
Agreed. I'm
Fun
excited.
mystery.
I'm excited to see what origin they go with. I'm anticipating him to be connected to Shield in some way, but maybe not being a part of it.
We will find out one of
Indeed.
these days if they ever release the movie.
We'll find out in 2030.
All right. Would anybody like to see any of these again? Anybody have any questions about any of these?
I love that living tribunal
Yes.
cover.
Anthony said that he looks small.
It does kind of look small.
Yeah.
But he's really just an aspect of a a cosmic
He's an avatar.
entity. So yeah, like you really can't
Sure.
comprehend their entirety. So
Your puny mind cannot fathom.
He's also looks like he's wearing mittens.
cosmic mittens.
Cosmic.
I just when I see that dolphin, like I'm picturing like some blonde teenager just like bursting out of the water. Like he keeps dying.
Dolphin. All right.
That was
Well,
just our first round.
Someday she's gonna show up.
she's gonna somebody Brian Michael Bendis is gonna write Dolphin and just knock it out of the park.
Oh no.
Eric, you want to switch over to you?
Yeah. Alrighty. So first up we have Sandman number 4. So this is the first appearance of Lucifer. We have this rated at about a 5. So there's some moisture damage. The bottom corner of the back cover. So from about like here over, I think, on the back, but on the back cover, there's some moisture damage.
And some staining.
Yes, and some staining.
Hence the 5.
Yes, but otherwise, this is in pretty good condition. If you're just displaying it, it looks beautiful. Like the front cover is pretty pristine.
It's a great for a filler copy.
Yeah.
You're looking to complete your Sandmans, and you need a 4, but you can't find the good one.
Yeah,
There's one for you.
it's a good start.
For $15.
Or if if you're not as picky about your back covers. On a similar note, we have Sandman number 8, the first appearance of Death. We have this one at a 6. Similarly, it's got some water damage on the back in the corner. It's a little more confined on this one, so you got that sort of crunchy corner.
It's less. There's no stainage on that.
Yes, there's also no stainage, hence why this is a...
So you think that could be pressed?
That could easily be pressed and be perfect.
Absolutely. That's why this one's a 6 rather than a 5. But, both in pretty condition aside from some stuff that is either only on the back or fixable. So that's cool. Next up, we have a very interesting piece of comic history, I would say. I never said it was a good piece.
Wait, who was looking for J. Michael, J. Scott Campbell cover?
That would be Anthony.
So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 601 with possibly one of the most iconic covers of the modern era, featuring MJ certainly in a position.
See that cosplayed a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when people redrew like Hawkeye and Wolverine in that cover.
The Hawkeye Initiative.
Yeah, the Hawkeye Initiative is wonderful.
Well, I mean, it's an easy cosplay. It's just, you have a tank top, ripped jeans, remove the spine, you're good.
Ribs. You probably need to remove some ribs
Yeah.
and, become a contortionist.
Like what? I don't even know what's going on with her. Like,
She's just, she's reading magazines and drinking tea.
does she just always like wear a corset at all times?
She's just pensively wondering about her spider love.
Yes. And we have that at an 8 for $50.
I wonder if anybody has ever cosplayed the KG Beast.
Almost certainly.
Not the modern version.
I think you have to go to Ebor for that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have All-Star Comics number 74, the last issue, featuring one of my favorite super teams, the Justice Society of America. We have this for $20, a sensational new 25-page epic. Yeah, I believe this was the end of the story that brought them into the modern age, but I'm not quite sure. I don't remember if this is pre or post-crisis. Next up, we have something that I was really excited when Paul put up here and I saw. We have Uncanny X-Men 450 by Chris Claremont, Alan Davis, and Mark Farmer. And this is the first X-Men appearance of X-23. She had appeared about half a dozen times in NYX prior to this. But this was her first time in a main X book, and this is super cool. I love me some Laura Kinney. As Jay and Miles explained, the X-Men referred to her best Wolverine, and I'm on board that train.
That cover's really cool too, with her 2 claws. Or
Yeah.
Accustomed to seeing the 3 claws.
I think it's like a really good image if you don't know who it is, and even if you do, it's like just so awesome. And this is from the second Claremont run in the 2000s. Speaking of X-Men, we have something that I think is really cool. Not in the greatest shape, but this is X-Men number 5. I think this is the oldest X-Men comic I have ever held in my hands, and it's so cool. We have this graded about a 2. It's the first appearance of Asteroid M, the second appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and the third appearance of Magneto. We have this graded at a 2 for $100. It's not in particularly great shape, but it's a piece of X-Men history. Action, surprises, suspense, all in the magnificent Marvel manner.
Toad.
See the most unusual teenagers of all time at their fighting best when they learn the angel is trapped.
Asteroid M. That was Magneto's first base, right?
Yeah, and it would make appearances, constantly throughout.
Yeah. Look how Iceman's throwing a snowball.
I think its last appearance was in Grant Morrison's run, but might have shown up since
I
then.
think they crashed it to Earth.
Because that's when Wolverine. That's when Wolverine killed Jean Grey. Yeah.
Murderer.
Well, that's the only time Wolverine's killed her, I think. Next up. Next up, we have X-Men number 8. This is the first appearance of Unus the Untouchable, who is one of the silliest early villains. He's no Sauron, but he is fun and interesting. I really enjoyed Dennis Hopeless's take on the character in X-Men Season 1. We have this graded at a 4 for $100. In better shape than the other one, but still not in amazing shape. So this is going to be our best shape of the Silver Age X-Men ones. We have X-Men number 13, Where Walks the Juggernaut. This is the second appearance of the Juggernaut. We have this at a 6 for $110.
Was this before he was Xavier's brother?
I think he was always Xavier's brother, but don't quote me on that.
I mean, like before it was retconned to be.
I don't know if it was ever
retconned. It was always.
I think that was just who he was from the beginning, but I could be wrong.
I mean, that might not have been the original plan, though. They could have been like, "Oh yeah, that'll work," and not like, "Oh, we have to redo something."
Yeah. All right. The last of our Silver Age X-Men for today. We have X-Men 41, featuring part of the origin of Cyclops. This isn't a particularly significant issue, but we thought we would show it off because it's cool. And I love this cover. Now strikes the Subhuman. So it is worth noting, this is a 4 for $25. And it's worth noting that the top staple on this one is loose. So be careful with it. But, otherwise it's a pretty nice 4.
So in the first appearance, in the issue where Juggernaut first appears, there's actually flashbacks for his origin, and so you learn that he's...
All right, cool.
That's awesome.
Why is his last name?
Actually,
Different
playing
last name.
something.
Because he's...
They have different dads or different moms?
Different.
They're half brothers, yeah.
Doesn't answer my question.
Well, I mean, I guess if you go with his name, being the bad brother makes sense.
Yeah, he is Kane.
Yeah.
Charles.
I don't know, but that's just funnier than Cain and Abel. It's like Cain and Charles. All right, next up.
Also like Hezekiah and his wife, Rebecca.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we have Rom Space Knight number 1. This is probably the greatest toy tie-in comic of all time.
What?
What are you thinking?
G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe.
Masters of the Universe?
I don't like
Masters of the Universe.
Well, I don't like G.I.
Teenage
Joe.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, that doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but that
it's
wasn't
not
the
the
toy
greatest.
first. Okay, in my opinion, the
Star
greatest.
Wars.
That's also not a toy tie-in. That's a movie
That was
tie-in.
the movies were made to sell toys.
But anyways, this is the first issue of a comic that was way more integral to the Marvel Universe than I ever think it was intended to be. And it's left like a gaping hole in a lot of series now that Marvel doesn't have the rights anymore.
We still have the rates.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Though I don't even know anymore because I know IDW did a Dire Wraiths series, so it's possible. But it's cool. We have this at a 7 for $25. It's a great series. Now our X-Men comics are not quite done for the evening because we have 2 more issues of ROM featuring the X-Men. These are the only 2 issues of ROM that I personally own. We have ROM 17. We have this at an 8 for $9.
So Kane Marco's dad married Sharon Xavier.
Okay.
And then
And then became. Oh my god! Really?
And then Rama 18, we have it at a 7 for $7. These are, two of my favorite issues. I used to have these like on my wall at college, as like some people had posters. I had comic books.
So are these the two from your personal collection?
No, these are not mine.
Okay.
I own these, but these are not my issues. Mine are at home, but cool to see.
Yeah, there's some good stuff over there.
Yeah, there's some awesome stuff over here.
Anthony is impressed by our collection of X-Men. As well, he should be.
Hey, I think a lot of this stuff, if we don't sell it tonight, we'll sell some of it Wednesday.
Saturday.
Or Saturday, yeah.
Anthony, did you ever get that Wolverine #1? I know you're looking to get it. Just wondering.
Anthony's son has COVID,
Oh.
so he and the rest of his fam are in quarantine right now. So he'll be up to pick up some stuff in a week or so. Hope you guys get better soon, Anthony.
Yep, hope he feels better.
All right. Shall we move on?
Indeed.
Every once in a while, we come across a nice run of spawns. We've got #1 right there. In pristine condition, easily a 9, $45.
Did you read the story about the spawn #1 this week? Todd McFarlane said that the first batch of spawn #1 had, if you look on, I don't know if it's the back cover, the spawn symbol inside the comic has like ink marks.
I did not.
And then they stopped the print run, fixed it, and then continued the print run. So there are issues of Spawn that has a variation.
I bet he's just like, Spawn #1 should be worth more. Let's say that there's a variant out there.
There is. It's true. I think it was mostly the like grocery store versions.
Got #2 there. Also a 9 for $25. That's the first appearance of the Violator.
What a name.
Yes. Very 90s.
What's edgy?
I feel like Spawn is just like 90s comics and a.
What was the name of the guy that John Leguizamo played?
Violator. No.
The big fat clown
He
guy?
was the clown guy, yeah.
Was he just the clown?
Isn't he the Violator?
I don't know.
Like the clown has a name and then this guy has a name. That's. But it's the same guy, right? I don't know. But we got a #4 there. This one still features the coupon if you want to send that in and get a free copy of Spawn #0. It's fully intact.
Mm-hmm.
Do they still honor that?
No.
Okay, I figured they would.
Shush.
You can also get a balsa wood plane.
Eric, do you want to
Yeah.
set up a batch of perhaps some amazing Spider-Mans?
Violator
Where
was
did the box
played by
go?
Leguizamo.
White box. There's a #5. These are all in excellent shape. 1 through 5, we've got listed at being 9s. And then we've got a #8, written by Alan Moore. We've got that at an H5. That one's only $7. And we've got 2 copies of #9. Got an H5 for $25, written by Neil Gaiman. First
First
appearance
appearance.
of Angela,
Yeah, Angela.
which
A
is
character I
no
love.
longer part of the Spawniverse.
Yeah, they're not allowed to
There's a
reprint that
funny
issue
dance
anymore.
No, I know. That was a Who's the Boss reference.
Yeah. Luna.
Oh my goodness.
Samantha.
Y'all are
That's
wild.
Tony Danza.
Yeah, no, I know.
All right.
Did you know that when they were making Superman 3 and possibly recasting Christopher Reeve, he was in the running.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tony Danza as Superman. That could have been.
Hey, can you? Mm-mm. I don't know. Move some books back and forth.
This book is brought to you by Charleston Chew. It is a special collector's edition comic. It is a flip book featuring 4 stories. There's Wolverine, there's Ghost Rider, there's Spider-Man, and I forget who the 4th person is.
You're right.
Cover art on here
Sam
by
Keith.
Sam Keith. If you are a fan of having these absurd comics, this is one of them. $10, excellent condition.
Dalton would like to take the Spawn number 1 and number 4, please.
1 and 4.
Hey, Dalton. How you doing
Hi,
today?
Dalton. There you go. Thank you, sir. Will you grab 2 more non-Spider-Mans out of there for me?
Mhm.
So we're going to replace those 2 spawns with, it's going to be a mystery. Come on, Eric. Grabbing something.
Sorry, there were a lot of Spider-Mans.
All right. We've got Phoenix, the Untold Story. That's for $8.
What's the edition on Spawn 8?
Spawn 8 is an 8.5. There is like just a couple of the spine cracks right there, but it's in great shape. Just like Plastic Man number 5 from 1966. It's graded at about a 7 for $25. Love me some Plastic Man.
We're gonna.
No, we're not.
We are.
We're not.
What? We are.
Didn't we already agree to it?
Yeah.
Rose didn't agree to anything.
Rose isn't gonna do it.
Back to the Untold Story of Phoenix. This is a reprint of the Dark Phoenix, her end with extra ending.
Yeah, there's more stuff going on
Yeah,
than we
Like deleted
initially
scenes,
thought.
kind of.
Yeah.
Because I think this it has the
Never before published conclusion to the saga of the Phoenix.
yes.
Joe would like to take the Spawn number 8.
Joy.
There we go. Thank you, sir. Now, on to everybody's favorite 90s character in a shiny, shiny red holofoil. Night Thrasher. Everyone's favorite skateboarder.
Rich, skateboarder.
They should do a skin for Tony Hawk where it's Night Thrasher.
Yes.
It's first issue.
Eric's got something for you.
Eric has.
To replace the
Well, we're going to replace that Spawn with Detective Comics number 337.
Oh, looks like he's got some sun damage.
That does.
You sure 5 on that? Jeez.
Well, now you're making me guess. Let's make it $15.
All right.
$15 for Detective Comics 337.
Featuring the Deep Freeze Menace.
Speedball number 1, The Masked Marvel.
man who will one day be known as Penance.
Eric's favorite character.
No, not even not even.
What would you do if Speedball married Kitty Pryde?
I would probably like cry. I don't know.
What if Arcade hosted the wedding? in the Mojoverse.
See, that's just like too many things. No, like
And Alpha Flight was there.
And all of
Okay,
them.
fine. No, I would much rather like Kitty Pryde and Rachel Gray and Ileana. That makes much more sense to me.
Not everything has to make sense, Eric.
I mean, that's Marvel editorial in the 2000s for you.
Right. Avengers, the Mighty Avengers, number 62. This is the first appearance of M'Baku, the Manny.
Sure is a thing that we found. I definitely think that the character was done much better in the Black Panther movie than in the comics.
Yeah.
Got that for $40 at a 6.
I liked playing in
Pretty
Lego
awesome.
Marvel.
He's great there, yeah.
Another.
And Captain Britain.
Avengers number 63. This one is where Hawkeye becomes Goliath.
Rose's favorite.
I didn't know that happened.
I forgot that it happened until I saw this earlier. I was like, oh, right, that is a thing.
He gets his costume design from KGB's.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he had a giant bow and arrows, that would be great.
Okay, so hear me out.
Rockets.
So hear me out. If they ever do another amalgam, Hawkeye KGB's amalgam.
$40. That's graded at about a 7.
Rose doesn't like that.
No, if they did an amalgam with Hawkeye, I would want it to be with Hawkman. So he's just Hawk.
I love. No, he's Man Eye. What, like who in that case? Like, is that just like Kate merges with Hawk Girl? Is it like that?
Well, no, it's Hawkeye can like shoot his arrows, and he
While
also has
flying around.
wings.
Yeah.
It works.
And if he gets into close combat, he has his mace.
Scream!
No, instead of arrows, he shoots maces out of a bow.
It feels like we're getting into Green Arrow territory.
Oh my gosh. Let's jump into Spider-Man territory. Anybody like Spider-Man out there in the worldwide webs?
Now we were in Gotham earlier.
Yes.
Now we're in Manhattan.
Yes. Or Brooklyn. Doesn't he live in Brooklyn?
Oh,
Yeah, but most of the stories, it
I don't know.
depends. It's usually Queens, but a lot of the stories themselves are in Manhattan.
Yeah, well, because that's where the buildings are.
Yep.
Like, how the hell does he, like,
Swing around
swing
in
around in
Queens.
Queens? That's why he's always, like, up in a tree in Queens, because it's just a regular kind of
I've never
neighborhood.
been to New York. Don't know what it looks like.
You
They
hate
have
it.
pictures on this thing called the internet.
You hate it.
I do.
All right, well,
All right. First off, we have something I think is cool. Amazing Spider-Man number 46, the first appearance of the Shocker.
Yes, that's graded at about a 3. It's in rough shape. $42. Yeah, Shocker.
Truly a key issue. The Shocker is the most important Spider-Man
got that?
villain.
yeah, Brian Ellman, he wants the Night Thrasher. So we're
Awesome.
Night
I'll be honest, of all the books on that rack, that was not the one I was expecting to sell.
Thanks for joining us, Brian.
Yeah, good to have you.
Brian.
Good to see you on here, and I'm not surprised about the Night Thrasher. That is on brand. And I'm glad you're happy with it.
Hope you enjoy, Brian.
Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 45, which is the third appearance of the Lizard.
Leave me? Shut up.
Rose is being weird.
Yeah, it's fair.
Are you answering, Joe?
I am.
That's graded at a 3. There is a chipped corner up here missing. Yeah. What else do you need to say? Third appearance of the Lizard, Kurt Connors.
My favorite Lizard appearance was in an X-Men comic.
Of course it was.
Is that when he was cleaning up a Sauron?
No, it was X-Men First Class when like they were in Florida and they thought they were going to be fighting a monster, and it was just Kurt Connors.
Next up, we put these out of order. We got the second appearance of the Lizard,
I did it by accident.
issue number 44. That's rated at 2. That's in rougher shape for $20. Again, these are great for filler issues. The corner up here is chipped. The corner down here is missing. And I mean,
They're good low-grade copies.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're certainly readable. Just be careful with them. Next up, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 96. Where's the other one? There's another one. Where's 98? There it is.
Okay.
All right. These are 2 of the 3 of the drugs issues.
Yes.
Where Marvel chose not to get branded by the Comics Code of Authority. That's how you say it, right? Yeah. So you got drugs here, and then you got drugs and Green Goblin here.
Drugs and Green Goblin sounds like some kind of like disco album.
I won't argue with that. They're both. This one's a 4. This one's a 6. They are pretty iconic issues.
Yeah, he tells Stanley told the story on a documentary about how, despite the fact that these were commissioned by the U.S. government, the Comics Code Authority still refused to put the stamp on them, and I think that's so funny.
That is funny. Lousy code.
He's sticky. Why is he?
Drugs. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number covered up by the 19-cent sticker. Authentic.
Yeah.
Era. Vintage. Why did I not write that on there? It's graded out of 4. You got another appearance of the Lizard.
58.
58.
Good move on. Yeah, we have this $20 for, and is that Johnny Storm?
That would be a Human Torch.
Sweet. Wasn't sure if it was Johnny or Phil or not. Is he Phil? Or I forget what the original is called. Something happened.
Robot Man.
Yeah. Well, that's a DC character.
Amazing Spider-Man number 86.
We have fun here.
This is the new first appearance of Black Widow's redesigned skin-tight costume. The costume that we are all familiar with. That would be her right there. Not there. That's graded at about a 6 for $40.
You would have thought that they would have like interacted more, just like thematically.
Yeah, you would. You'd think that she would be one of his regular villains or teammates.
Well, she doesn't really have spider power.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
thematic.
neither does Black Cat.
Yeah, but she doesn't pretend to have spider powers.
She doesn't have cat powers either.
Yeah, she has like good luck something.
Anthony
Not
has to go.
huge
Bye,
domino
Anthony.
good luck.
Hi, Anthony.
Bye.
What?
Amazing Spider-Man number 90. Iconic death of Captain Stacy.
Aw.
This was graded at a 4 for $22. Again, it's a great placeholder. This is one of those Grail books that people want, but this is maybe not the best Grail.
Instead of the Holy Grail, it's like
It's the whole Grail. It's the Grail with holes.
Yeah.
This one, the cover is detached from the bottom staple.
yeah.
But again, it's a great filler for when you're saving up to get the nice 9.8 CGC one.
As soon as you win the lottery.
All right, we already did this guy. Drugs. What do we got down there?
All right, we got Amazing Spider-Man 110.
Birth of the Giffen.
The Birth of the Gibbon. This is the last Stan Lee story.
Yeah, it's the last issue Stan Lee wrote the story for.
And then he started writing the
He
newspaper
plotted
strip.
the story, I think,
Yeah. Then he started writing the newspaper strip.
which is really good.
And really bizarre.
No, I was asking, is it really good?
Oh, it is, but it's also like very weird.
It's hard to follow the story like day to day or even like.
It has its own continuity.
Yeah.
It gets even weirder once he starts introducing other characters.
So he was laying the floor plan for 90s Spider-Man, where the continuity is just all over the place and nothing makes sense.
Basically. It kept going until like 2017.
I grew arms.
which I want to see in the movies. That's all I want out of a Spider-Man.
What's the grade?
6.
That's a 6.0. 6.0, Dalton.
All right. What's next door to that?
All right, we got 136. The first Harry Osborn as Green Goblin.
That's pretty cool.
And this would have been the Jerry Conway run, right?
You would know better than me. It's not my book or era. It is graded out of 5. It's a great cover, though.
Yeah, classic.
Hate bumper.
Poor Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
He got the bad hair.
Oh, I forgot about that weird red, wavy black
Yes.
stuff.
It's so. Who thought of that hair? Was that Ditko?
Probably.
It doesn't make sense.
Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man 137 at a 6 for $20, and this is the second Harry Goblin.
Harry Osborn as Green Goblin.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you wrote Harry Goblin.
I figure you'd fill in the gaps in the sentence.
Yeah, but it's funnier to say Harry Goblin than Harry Osborn as Green Goblin.
That is graded at a 6. Pretty good condition.
Dalton would like the Black Widow and Spider-Man across.
Thank you, Dalton.
Thank you, Dalton. Go. All right, next up, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 175. This features a partial origin of the Punisher, which I think might be the first time they bring that up.
I don't know when his first origin. I'll look it up too.
But yeah, and this is at a point where Punisher is helping Spider-Man. They're friends now. They're not trying to kill each other anymore.
That's very nice of him.
That's graded at an 8. Really good condition. And what did you add up here? Got Daredevil number 56.
Yep, we're out of Spider-Mans for the evening, but I figured let's show another New York hero.
This features the first Death's Head.
Yeah, not that Death's
Not the
Head.
British Death's Head.
Not the good Death's Head.
But maybe cooler design. Look at that. It's a trash can with googly eyes on it.
I think
Riding a ghost steed.
it's a very funny design, but yeah.
That's graded out of 6 for $10. Not a very in-demand issue, but cool.
It's awesome.
Rose is making faces.
I'm just thinking, like, trash can with googly eyes. Like, now I'm thinking of, like, the Howard the Duck Star Wars thing. It's just, imagine that crossover.
I want Howard the Duck versus Daredevil.
All right. We've got an Amazing Spider-Man
You can easily
306.
hear the pat, 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 pat.
McFarlane's homage to Action Comics.
Yes.
Pretty iconic.
It's a really good cover. I love it.
Yeah. And then I've got Spectacular Spider-Man number 8, featuring Morbius. Really good cover on that too. That's at a 7 for $12.
Featuring Jared Leto.
Yes. I promise you, he wears bat wings around his house.
He probably does.
Promise you.
I mean,
And I can't
so
blame
do
him.
you.
I know.
Okay, that was really funny.
But his are probably made of silk, whereas mine
Yeah.
are yarn.
Yours is like an old blanket.
Anybody like to see close-ups of any of these wonderful Spider-Mans and or Daredevil? Or any of the other wonderful comics we've got today?
I don't know. I don't know when his actual origin story is first released. Punisher.
Do you want to do more?
We got 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Well, I got an empty spot over here. Why don't we
Cover up some of these.
I don't really care for any of these. All right, Captain America, number 254. It's a John Byrne cover featuring the first new Union Jack.
Yeah.
That's not him. That's like old Union Jack.
It looks like, is he in a wheelchair too?
Yes. Looks like a Union Jack pillow.
Yeah, that's Joey Chapman.
That's a 9 for $20.
If anyone here is reading the Union, that is the Union Jack who appeared in the Union series.
Who's this bat character?
That's
Speaking of
Baron
bats.
Blood.
Baron Blood, is
He
it?
is a vampire.
Of course he is.
Now I like him.
Even though he's got the crazy bat costume.
Paul, I think you should cosplay as Baron Blood.
That'll be KGB's.
Alright, I'm gonna veto this.
Who are you gonna be, Ro?
Someone who
She's
doesn't
gonna be
work
Mary
here
Jane.
anymore.
This one is kind of an important issue. This is Captain America number 233, The Death of Sharon Carter.
Oh, bummer.
She was always just a placeholder for Peggy.
$7. We go a little further back. We've got Captain America 116.
That's a cool cover.
It's got everybody's favorites on it.
Goliath.
$15, rated out of 6. Captain America 108, featuring the Trapster.
It's a great cover. It's a pretty early appearance, too.
Now it's
Great is that?
$35.
7? That's not bad.
And we got some Flash.
Oh.
The visual condition of this, the physical condition of this is a 6, but I had to downgrade it to a 4 because it does have cigar remnants. You open this and you're going to smell cigar.
That's unfortunate.
So if that's something you don't mind, I mean, it's right here for you for $10.
Is that girl biting his leg?
She sure is.
That is nuts.
And this is,
That's
the version
amazing.
of hippies that are violent.
Yeah. Antifa.
So that's issue 185.
Sorry, did I
That
just get
tickled
political?
you.
Yeah,
You really like that one.
Flash number 189. It's rated at a 5 for $12. It is a Joe Kubert cover. It's the last of the 12-cent issues before it goes up to 15.
And it's only 12 cents.
It's $12. This Flash is angry at this Flash. Drama.
Just like John
Wally.
Constantine.
And we've got an old Flash. Well, this isn't. It's older. 166 for $5 because it's 2. It's graded at a 2 because it's in terrible condition. But you got Captain Cold and Heatwave teaming up. And he's on a crush.
Yeah.
Someone must have tripped him.
That's-
Well, yeah, he just got bit by a hippie.
that was the other leg. Let's go back to our X-Men.
Yeah.
There's some cool books over there.
God, when I saw these, I was so excited.
Where did you find those?
In a dumpster.
Were they just in the back room, or
They were.
okay?
Yeah, I got lots of cool stuff back there.
I've noticed. Where we found the Captain Britons.
There's cooler stuff. There's a whole box of stuff, but it's gonna be the last box I go through back there.
Okay.
Probably CGC a lot of it.
Okay. So we're having some problems with it. Alrighty. Well, let's see those X-Men rules.
What? That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm on a delay here.
Like,
There we go.
he wants to talk about like that kid's comic book again, and, like what it's about.
No, we can just replay that clip.
Yeah, I noticed like even like Anthony's comments were coming like really late.
and a feed issue.
I still can't believe that we found X-Men 5. That is so cool.
I have a copy of X-Men #1.
That makes sense. If I could afford it, I would, but oof, that's a little. Paul, are you biting the comics?
What? No, he's showcasing Andrea's.
No, I know I was.
Do we need to get like stickers like Paul's book of the day?
Just making a joke.
Just trying to highlight the new releases for the people who came in late.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So Andrea says that he's down for getting into a chat with us about Maniac.
That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Hmm.
And he's also Dracula is still current, right? It's still ongoing.
No.
So is it done?
Yeah, that's Vlad Dracul. That's the trade should be coming in soon.
Maybe we'll do an in-store signing.
That would be cool. He's a super nice guy.
He seems like it, from what I've heard.
Well, don't forget to join us on Saturday. We'll have these
Some of these,
comics
some others.
and many more. Those of you who regularly join us on Saturday, you have the sneak preview.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of these, especially the higher end ones, the older ones, they will definitely be featured on Saturday. So if you need time to think about it, you've got a couple days.
Yes. And if there's anything you'd like to see Saturday or next week, let us know, and we'll see if we can find something for you.
I'd like to put together some more runs, kind of like the Batman, but
Yeah.
see if we can do some fun stuff with that too. Just nice collections.
It's once we get everything more organized.
We're constantly organizing.
Yes. As we're going, I'm doing what I can.
There's one thing that if we can find the last couple of issues for, will be very exciting.
For what?
Specifically the Daredevil one that we've been assembling.
My brain's fried.
We have an almost complete Miller Daredevil.
Oh.
Oh, really?
We're like 2 or 3 issues short. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
It's been a while since I thought about that.
Are you doing that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you have the link to it? Oh, and let me make a post about Tony's.
Brian, if you're going to be joining us on Saturday, I will try to dig out some of the some stuff that's more up your alley. See what I can find.
Kind of stuff to see.
Stuff that I like.
Oh.
I mean, Night Thrasher.
Yeah.
I don't have Tony's link. Before we quit, I want to post a link to Tony's show.
Yeah, one of our friend of the store, one of our regulars, one of our best regulars, Tony. He does his own YouTube. He goes through all his favorite covers and comics of the week. I believe it's Tony Varela YouTube.
It's youtube.com/user/TVI Corella.
And if you have it, you can post it in the link.
Been posting.
Where is it? I don't see it.
It's on the screen.
We'll put it in the
I'm
comments.
gonna.
Space Knight. Never actually owned a Ron action figure.
They weren't very actiony.
No, he was just kind of a
He had,
static
he had
pose
lights and then like his arms. Like,
Yeah, I think was one of his arms bent or something, or were they
Maybe.
just straight up?
I think he didn't he have like a ray gun.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
Yeah,
I don't even think he was one of the robots that like walked.
Yeah, one of my
no, he didn't.
one of my favorite comic reviewers did what he called the Ron perspective, where he went through the entire series.
It could either be really cool or really horrible.
It was he didn't like go in depth into each issue. He sort of gave an overview and talked about key moments.
That's cool.
which is the way to do something like that. He's done the same thing with Exiles. He's done it with Blue Beetle.
All right, so I guess for our show cosplay, Eric, you will be Rom Space Knight.
And there are worse things to cosplay.
Yep.
The only complaint there is that it'll be hot. But
Well,
You could be KG Beast and be nice and cool.
I will go with Rom.
we get plenty of boxes every week. We can paint sell it.
Just something like Awesome-o.
I mean, hey, I'll never forget the time when we were having a Magic PPTQ here, and like I was walking to the back to get ready for the tournament, and Rick came up behind me and put a box on my head.
He's just preparing you for your ROM.
Goes Angela.
Angela. Mona.
Angela's great.
Samantha.
Like, are we talking like
That's a really
Spawn
good
version of Angela, or like the
I
more
mean,
modern Marvel
It's
update?
not terrible.
I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have